Today, I want to rise in defense of a group of people who are constantly under criticism, people who feel that they weren't always like this. I rise in defense of children. Children these days, you never hear a good word about them. I was looking through magazines. Here are some of the words I found regarding children: naughty, restless, loud, know it all, lazy, too much screen time, whining, impulsive. Perhaps it's summed up in these words that I found in one magazine. Nowadays, children's behavior has worsened because they now receive what they want, since that's what parents think it will please their children, since they are not always at home. It's our fault that children's behavior has worsened. But has it really worsened? Let me read you some words from a song from a half century ago. It's from the Rolling Stones, and it's called Mother's Little Helper. And the words begin, "Kids are different today, I hear every mother say." 50 years ago, the Rolling Stones already heard mothers complaining that kids are different. And what was their solution? That the mothers should start taking drugs. Not the best solution in the world. And it wasn't just 50 years ago that kids were not angels. Listen to these words. There is yet another evil disease regarding raising children that is not practiced by other people. A child sits at the table with his father and mother, and he is the first to stretch forth his hand to partake of the food. He thus grows up arrogant, without fear or culture or refinement, acting as if his father and mother were his friends or siblings. By the time he's 8 or 9 years old and his parents wish to correct their earlier mistakes, they no longer are able to, for childish habits has already become second nature. At 8 or 9, it's already too late. They're spoiled and no good. You know who wrote that? Rabbi Moshe Chagiz. You know when he wrote it? 300 years ago. We make a big mistake when we depict our children of today and compare them to children of previous generations and describe them as being potential Columbine murderers, undisciplined, unrestrained, immoral, spoiled. Need I tell you that many, many years ago, Cain killed Abel, Esau tried to kill Jacob, and Joseph's brothers made a similar attempt. Kids today are no better or no worse. They're what they've always been, bearers of unlimited potential with a natural striving for the good and the holy. To think of them as being anything else, to think that things used to be better, robs us of much joy and happiness for the future. Our Torah reading this week is entitled Toldot, meaning generations. Eila Toldot Yitzchak. These are the generations of our patriarch Isaac. There's a fascinating aspect regarding this word Toldot. As it's spelled in this week's Torah portion, it is spelled with a letter missing. It is spelled Tuf Vav Lamed Dalet Tuf. There really should be an additional Tuf, one between the Dalet and the Tuf. There should be an additional Vav, I should say. But that's missing. And it's not only missing here. The word Toldot, generations, appears 13 times in the Torah. It appears in chapter 2 of Genesis, and it's spelled complete. Ela Toldot Shemayim Va'aretz, these are the generations of heaven and earth. And there, Toldot, generations, is spelled with 2 vavs. Similarly, at the end of the book of Ruth, in the genealogy that leads to David and the Messiah, it's also spelled complete with both vavs. But everywhere else in the Torah, when we use the word Toldot, meaning generations, it's spelled with a missing vav, which comes to teach us this all-important lesson. Maybe the world was perfect and complete before the first human being was created. And maybe the world will be perfect and complete when the Messiah comes. But in between, things will never be perfect. Not us, and not our children. If we wait for perfect children, we'll never have any. Thank God for the gift that they are to all of us. Shabbat Shalom.